Welcome everyone to 0 to 60 Reviews. This is Sed Hansen. I am sitting here with
Marie.
She is one of the salespeople at Johnson Alfa Romeo FIAT of Annapolis, and she was so kind to let me go out and test drive the two cars that I'm doing today, the 2017 Fiat 124 Classica and the 2016 Fiat 500 Abarth.
Lusso.
What's that?
Lusso.
Oh, this is a Lusso?
Yes.
Okay, the original car I was going to do was a Classica, so... Alright, I got upgraded. This is the 2017 Fiat 124 Spider. This is the Lusso trim. It's a pretty nice looking car. Not a lot of people agree with that statement, which I find kind of interesting. I think it's a good looking car. It is built on the Mazda MX-5's chassis. It's 5.5 inches longer than the MX-5, which it's mostly in the front end. They lengthen the front end out a little bit, and that's mainly to support the intercooler. They had to have room to put in the intercooler since this is turbocharged and the MX-5 isn't. This has nice little touches, little throwbacks to the original 124. These here, this little double bubble hood. On the original 124, that was to symbolize that it was a dual cam engine, 2 cams. This one is not a dual cam. This is single. So maybe instead of 2 to pay homage to the old one, they should have just had 1. I don't know. The headlights, this one doesn't have the full setup. On some of them, this little LED ring here isn't just around the projector. It actually goes out here around the low beam. Or, sorry, no, this is the high beam. But the shape here is, again, it's an homage to the classic 124 Spider, because this is kind of the shape of the headlight and the bezel that it sits inside. But nice traditional roadster setup, lightweight, 2-seater, convertible top. Overall, it's a good looking car. It's got LEDs all around the outside here, and then it's got this little centerpiece which is color matched to the car. And you've got your reverse light down in the middle. And this one is sitting on a set of Bridgestone Potenzas. They are 205/45 17s. I found out I want to make a correction on my Facebook post. I said they didn't have any Alfa Romeos when I was looking at their site. I was completely wrong. They actually have at least 3 4Cs that I saw. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to test drive those. They're a little bit out of my price range. I haven't done any current research, but I believe they start around, what is it, 50, 60,000?
Start around 60.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think 75. It was about 60 and up, yeah. So yeah, a little out of the price range, being that I'm still new to this. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get going and do the test drive, see how this thing drives. So let's get going. Things I like about this a little over the MX-5 is the turbo. It doesn't add a whole lot of horsepower over the MX-5,
no,
but it adds, I think it's about 36 foot-pounds of torque.
Exactly.
Which it starts at about 2,500 RPM, which is really low. I mean, that's, yeah, you put your foot down and you get torque. This is in 3rd gear. That was already 65 right there. So a lot of low end torque gets you going. handling wise it's fantastic. It sticks to the ground. It's kind of just it's just kind of point and shoot. Wherever you turn the wheel to, it wants to go. The sound isn't, I don't know, you would expect a lot of sound from a roadster, but it's pretty quiet, but then again, it is also just it's an inline four. The FIAT 124 is equipped with a 1.4 liter multi-air turbocharged inline four. I think it's 160 horse and 184 foot-pounds of torque. But honestly, the car weighs I think it's 2,400 pounds, so you really don't need a lot of horsepower and torque to get it moving. This is actually, this is kind of a throwback to the classic roadster design where, you have a car that's under 2,500 pounds, small engine, which doesn't give you much horsepower, much torque, but when you're working with no weight, it's unnecessary. Any more horsepower and torque, and the car is going to start becoming unruly. You're going to start stepping out of line and not being able to control it as well. All right, under the hood, you have the same 1.4 liter inline four. It's a multi-air turbo that you'll find in the FIAT 500 Abarth. This one is 160 horsepower, 184 foot-pounds of torque. The engine is mounted instead of this car's rear-wheel drive, whereas the Abarth is front-wheel. So, whereas the Abarth would be a transverse-mounted setup with a transmission on the side, this one was turned, and this is a longitudinal setup, transmission running power straight to the back wheels. Alright, stepping inside the car, it is keyless entry, so you press the button, it unlocks, that's it. The interior is nice, it's small, but it's comfortable. The seats have nice bolstering, and they have speakers built into the headrest, which is kind of nice. You need, with a convertible, you got a lot more wind coming through, so you need the ability to put a little more sound to the driver and the passenger. So inside, to bring the top down, it's very easy. You just push this here and then pull this. That unlatches it, and it also rolls the windows down automatically, and then you just make sure it's unlatched, push the top, and folds down, latches in back there. The car is definitely a lot easier to get into when you have the top down. It sits fairly low. Close the door here. So you've got your window controls on the door. Unlike the Abarth, where they're in the middle, this one's a normal car on the door. Window lockout, lock and unlock, mirror controls. The interior is pretty nice. So you've got your gauge pod here. Right, on the instrument cluster here, you have your tachometer in the middle. You've got your speedometer flanking it. You have a shift indicator here, gear display, I guess I should say, showing you what gear you're in. So you got park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you click it over into the manual position. This isn't automatic. Then you can shift to the gears. Won't let you go past second, and at a standstill, obviously. And then over here you have your temp what temperature it is outside, average mile per hour, how many miles left till empty, and then your actual gas gauge. And then you press this in. It's a trip meter. In the middle, you have an, I believe, 8-inch infotainment display. And then you can go to the different menus by pressing the buttons on here, or down here in the middle there's this knob here. If the lighting will work with me. There we go. You have your knob here, which controls the menus: music, home, nav, which this car is not equipped with nav, so it's interesting that it even has that button. But as you can see, you just cycle through them like that. Also, volume down here as well. The dash is soft touch plastic on the top, and down here you've got a nice glossy black finish through here. It's a hard plastic, same as along here in the instrument cluster. The overall dash itself is basically the MX-5. In fact, this here is meant to look like the MX-5's tail light. So this would be the brake light, and this would be, the runner off to the side. You've got your climate control through here. You've got heated seats, which I can turn that off now. The salesperson I was with, she was a little cold, so she turned on the butt warmer, made it everything a little better. Nice interior throughout. Back here you have your lever for the top. Top is pretty easy to work. For the most part, it's a little awkward. You're trying to get the bend here, but you pull this up and it pops the top up. You just reach back, pull it up over, down, and then you just latch it and secure it, and that is it. Inside you have a little storage bin back here. The car does not have a glove box, so this is effectively your glove box. And you've got your wind deflector across here to help cut down. When you have the top down, this helps cut down on the wind inside the cab. You've got another little storage unit here. Not very big, enough to basically fit your key fob into. Right here you have your cup holders. You can actually remove them. This one comes out like that and then goes over here into this side. That way your passenger has a cup holder down here. As far as the drink placement goes, it's a little more convenient because this is tucked way back here. But this starts getting in the way of your knee. You start smacking your knee into it. So more convenient to put your drink down, but less convenient for your knees. And again, that just comes right out, goes over here into there, push down, and there you go. All right, so trunk space on the 124 is, let's just say, nominal. It is a roadster, so they don't mean for you to go getting every last one of your items on your shopping list. So, but either way, it has a trunk. Let's give it that much. And this one is equipped with the rear view camera, so when you put it into reverse on the display on the dash, it shows you what's behind you so you don't run into anything. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and to stay up to date on the latest car reviews and all things automotive, keep it tuned to 060 Reviews.